So my friends, welcome back to a bit of maths medicine. Now, as I'm sure you've already seen, quite a long how-to video, this one. I've literally sat here, got 11 free downloads for you guys, all of which are in the description. We've gone track to track, setting up hot cues in the... I've only done the intro, I haven't gone all through the drop because it's just pointless. You don't mix in a drop, you mix in the intro. So I've gone hot cues, track to track, in the intros, and then I've sorted them all into a little playlist so you guys can get an idea of how I sort tracks into a playlist and what I'm thinking about when I'm doing it, and then just an overall mini mix. Now, I have stayed quiet while I'm doing the mix so you guys can just see what I'm doing. If you guys want me to do a commentary over the mini mix, then I can do that in another video that's open, so let me know, just leave it in the comments. But yeah, there'll be timestamps in the description, so if you already know where to set hot cues and just want to see me making up a track list, check that. It's about 20 minutes of the way through. Yeah, hopefully this will help you guys in some way or another. But once again, my friends, just sat here, blurted out everything that's on my mind, and hopefully it will help you guys in some way. Let's get into this.
So, what I'm going to do is come over to the auto loop feature, as this is your quickest way to set up your cue points in your track. Now, it's good to double check that the start of your track is the start of your track with the auto loop feature. The way you can do this is there will be 64 beats in the intro. Go forward 32 beats. If that takes you to the halfway house, which you'll know if it does, if you then go 32 beats again, and then there's the drop. Now, you can double check it's the drop just by going back. Let me put the recording so you guys can hear. So we know that that 32 beat section takes us to the drop, so you would set your cue point up there. You can take cue points away by holding shift, hit the cue point, takes it away, and then just stick it back like that. So we know we want our cue point there, as that's the 32 beat section. Notice how 22 seconds is roughly the time you're going to have to set your cue point up, essentially. See, both these tracks, both the cue points, 22 seconds. Now, some tracks might be a little bit later if they have a funny intro and don't start on beat, but majority of tracks, they're going to be around the 22 second mark to set your cue points. So I'm going to quickly show you how this will work with matching into each other. Let me just go back on this one. Oh, my bad, knocking you guys away there. So 32 beats, once again, you just skip forward. Okay, this is good because now I can show you this. So not all tracks might not skip 32 beats depending on your software. Sometimes it reads it wrong, can't always be reliant, and then you'll just have to do another 32 beats, and then it will take you to your 32 beat section of 22 seconds. So now when I start both these tracks on beat, they will double drop in on time. Let me just EQ it for you guys. Now, your lows, your mid, your high, your bass, your vocals, your hats. So we know that they come in on time. So we know that we've set the cue points up right for these tracks. So now this is going to be a little, what I would call a foundation track to have everything setting up on the right time. Now I'm going to bring the next track in. This is one of my own. Now this is a bit harder to hear because you can't really skip forward. Well, you can skip with the 32 beats like I have. However, I made this track difficult to hear because you'll see, you can't hear the 16 beat, whereas with this, see how you can hear the 32 beat come in. You can hear that drop, essentially. So it's a lot easier to start on the 32 beat, whereas with this track, it's a little bit, there we go. It's a little bit difficult to hear. You kind of need to listen for beats of 8. Right, that's 16. So listen for something that's familiar. What I do is I hear that little... That's what I'm listening for. So that's the fourth time I heard it. So that's my 32 beat section. So I just need to go back, and it is right there. Now, obviously the way I can double check this again, 32 beats forward, and then that's taking me to the drop. So all I need to do now, double check, is I can just start both these tracks on time. Oh, not bad. I can see now immediately there in beat. So I've set my cue point right. now we're just going back and forth. So both those tracks now have their cue points set up in the intros like we want them to. Right, next track, we're going to set up 32 beats, we're going to skip forward. Now this is done the same as Poison, it's only skipped 16 beats. The way we know that is because we're going to listen for it. Eight beats. Listen for something familiar. 16 beats. Another 8 beats. So that's where we want to set our cue point. That's now in the 32 beat pattern. We're going to listen for it coming up. I mean, like, once again, you can see it in the waveform. Look how it goes thin and then it stretches out again. Where that stretch out is where you're going to be setting your next cue point. So you roughly have an idea. So the build is going to come. That's 16 beats. Another riser has come in. And then the next 32 beat, if you hear that riser pulling up. So we're starting this track, as it looks like we've got 32 beats left on the waveform. I'll pull this one back in. Just like that, they've now dropped on time. So we know our cue points are working perfectly. Then we're on to the next one. Right, now this one, as you can see, is a little bit harder to hear or to see where that intro is. So we're gonna have to listen for it. Now, I'm not gonna set it at the start because I'm not confident that that start is the start of the track. So I'm gonna wait for the 32 beat mark, which sounds like it's coming up. So once again, we're going to double check. We're going to hit our cues. Oh, my bad. There we go. And then if they both double drop at the same time. So once again, they've come in perfectly on time, so that's the cue point set up on there. I'll go down to Fake Love. Now this one, once again, is a relatively easy one. So all we need to do, as you can, once again, you can see in the waveforms how it's small and then it gets a little bit wider. We're going to use our little loop feature over here. We can double check. That effect. So go back onto here. And then we're going to double drop them again. So not only am I just doing this just to show you guys that the cue points are working, I'm doing this so I can get a little listening to the track, see how they work together, and who knows, maybe one might work really well. If you guys have already heard one and gone, that sounded sick, who knows? Ooh. See, that was unexpected. I thought it was going to drop. It didn't. And you could switch it if you want. Done. So that worked quite nicely, and we've now got our cue point set up there. However, I didn't realise that was coming down, but I want to keep the vocals, so I'm not actually going to set another cue point. Otherwise, what I may end up doing is starting my track here, and I may miss out my vocals, but I'm going to set a cue point there anyway, just so I can show you guys another way of mixing in. But I like to keep vocals, that's just a personal preference. So, next track, 32 beats along. I haven't actually heard this track yet, so I literally just saw the name, saw the bootleg, and I was like, yeah, I'm downloading that. So, we're going to have to listen for this. Because this is sounding really bloody different. But I reckon, like I say, it's just a matter of listening. Wait for that riser. Alright, I feel like it was there. I could be very wrong with that. But this is difficult, this one. So all we've got to do is test it. It's probably not. We're going to have clashing lyrics now. My bad. I think that was good, you know. Just about. So we can see how that correlates to that quite nicely. So long story short, when 32 beats, yeah, it's taken us there. So yeah, that was right. So you want to be putting your hot cue point there, about there anyway. And once again, you can double check with the 32 beats or just by doing what I did by dropping it with another song. However, it's only 16 beats between there and the drop. So what you could do is, here's a little idea for you guys. 32 beats forward, 32 beats forward. We'll get this drop playing, and then we're going to start this one. My bad, we're going to go halfway through. Sorry guys. Here we go. Start that one now. And we'll see what I'm going to do. And then you bring it into another build-up. I mean, that was poorly beat matched, so my bad, but once again, I have not used this track many times, or I say many times. That was actually my first time hearing the drop. I was not disappointed. Right, I've already set the key point on this one. So I'm going to pull that one out, and we're going to listen for the key point on this one. Yeah, I apologise, my tracks are quite here to hear the old 16 beat, but it's alright. We all like a challenge. And then when that comes in, you know what I'm going to do? So if I want to double drop this, I can go 16 beats forward. So this is how you can double drop this track. So I showed you guys how we can build it back with 16 beats. I apologise for my channel levels, by the way. I'm really not paying attention to this, guys. Ooh, I like that. So yeah, just going back and forth with those tracks. Now, same again with this one. 32 beats forward, 32 beats forward, and then that has, oh, not bad, I'm good if we have the sound up. There we go. Right, so that is taking me to the drop, exactly where I need to be. So I can go back to the start of this track and set my cue point there. That's the cue points for that one done. But I'm going to give it a little tester, just in case. Just never beat match. I'm all for beat matching this track. I need to work on this one.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way.
So that's those two. Right, and then come down here to K9. Little bit slow on the old beats there. There we go. We'll put them in. So this is doing the same, if you remember, as Poison, where I was saying it was only actually skipping to forward 16 beats. So I imagine, yeah. Listen. Don't listen to the drums. Listen to the little melody playing. See how it restarts? So I know there. That is the end of the 30 beat section, and this, just there, should be, yeah, the next 30 beat section. And we're going to double check that one more time, going forward. Once again, 2 more 16 beats. Very long intro, this track. Set cue point there, I believe. 30 beats, and then sweet. So if we start like there, and they should drop at the same time. They didn't. We were slightly off beat. That's where we wanted it. They did not drop at the same time though. So we've got something wrong somewhere. I believe it's on this one. So it must have been. Must have been there. Yeah, I was being a pickle. I had it wrong. My bad. Yeah, that's the cue point. Then we're going to go 30 forward, yeah, that's taking us where we want to be. Now once again we can double check, did I not set it? I made it, there we go, I was making a bad presumption. There we go, these two will come in time. I did say, guys, this was going to be a long one. Yeah, once again, I apologise for the red. I'm really not paying attention to that while I'm doing all this. So, that's those all set up with the old cue points. I'm just going to go back and double check 1 second, guys. Yeah, okay, that's what I want it to be. Now, last track has taken some time, but we are getting there, my friends. Now, 30 beat section. I'm going to do the same thing again. Skip forward. The BPM hasn't set for this one. So, how do you set a little BPM for a track when it's not showing you the BPM? So what I'm going to show you guys here, you're going to want to drop the track. Well, this is how I find the BPM. If you can't just search in and find it online, which I couldn't for this one, I'm going to find the drop. And then I'm going to go off this BPM and see how. Oh. Oh, I don't actually know where that's actually. Right, that could be the one. Right, they're not beat matched, but it looks like they're running at the same time. point is, that's 87.5 BPM. And now you just punch that in to your computer, and then boom. There we go, 87.5. The way you do that is you just go onto the song, you click on the BPM box of your software, and then just literally manually enter the BPM. Now, what we can do is we can go back, as I was very poor at listening for the drop of this song, because he did not make it easy. Okay, so that's the 32 beat section, and then, yeah, that's the drop there. I was starting it way too early. Now, there we go. So then, that is all cue points set on the intros of the tracks, so we can start mixing them into each other. I like that. So, once again, that's all the cue points now set. So, now I'm going to sort them into a little track list, how I would get them all set up. So when it comes to making up your track list, the first track is one of, if not the most important track of the whole set list. As remember guys, if people don't like your first track, they aren't going to stay for your second one, especially if you're posting your mixes online. So yeah, your first track is your big opener, make it a big one, people will stick around, and then hopefully listen for your second one. So, I've gone for Fake Love as my first track. I have already ordered the first 5 of these, by the way guys, as I didn't hit record in the last time I did this, and yeah, that brings us to now. So, Fake Love is my first track. It's got quite high energy, so my thought process behind this is go to my drop, listen for that. Let's go back, because we'll be forever on to that, and boom. So, as that's playing, I was thinking, this energy is eventually going to wear down, so why don't I bring it down with this little Rollers track, Old Poison, and then bring the energy back in with another Rollers, not Rollers, Jump Up track, sorry. So, just for the sake of it, this isn't where I would mix them, but I'm just going to double drop them for now, just to see if it works. So I know these two work quite nicely, and then when I bring that one out, the Poison energy will stay. So when it comes to mixing in my next track, I just have to feel what it's like with the Old Poison, what's the next Poison, and then so just as I thought, when I bring it down into Poison, this Jump Up track will bring the energy back up again. So I know that that's now kept the energy onto this Jump Up track. So why don't, instead of doing the same old going from a Jump Up to a Rollers, why don't I keep that little Jump Up ride going? So I'm going to blend in another Jump Up track to all the way up, and then we're going to keep that Jump Up vibe going. A good place to blend it in, if you look at the waveform, you can see how it comes down just after the 64 beat section here. So as it comes down, that's where we're going to switch our track. So just here, that's where I'm going to switch it. Now, when it comes to mixing this, you guys will see how I will actually blend it in. But for the moment, it's just for ease, because I'll be there forever if I'm going track to track, trying to mix. At least if I can line the drops up, see how they're going to work, then it gives me a bit of a better idea.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way.
Sweet. So that is going to keep the energy that I want. And then my thought process here is this track is a little bit of a blend of Rollers and Jump Up. So this is going to bring the heaviness back in, and then I'm going to bring it back down again to drop it low. So as this one is going, my bad, let's find the next 32 beat in the old drop. Oh, very poor. There we go. It's a little bit clashy, but I reckon I can just about get away with that. So those two work not too badly, and then I'm going to go back slightly on here. There. So I want to bring it down now, as I've brought the energy up to a very high place, so it'd be quite nice to now bring the energy back out to then rebuild it all back up again.
War machine deployed.
Right, that didn't quite go in from where I wanted it to, but it's given me an idea of how the mix is going to go. So I want to then go from drop it low. Ooh, I'm not going to lie, guys, but this is near enough how I was already thinking about how I wanted to go. I'm going to put Alone at the end, as that's going to be my closing track. Drop it low, let's get it going. And then I'm going to use the vocals of this one. This in. So that's now going to go into that track, just as a drop. So I reckon, because this track's a bit more of a calmer vibe, it will work quite well with feeling it. It's quite heavy drums on this one. Yeah, once again, I apologise for the channel level, guys. I'm really not paying attention to this. Ooh, that could work quite nicely. So we've brought it down to a bit of a mellower vibe. That's the idea. And then Banzai Millie and Alone are going to finish it off with the heaviness that we want. Not bad. There we go. Why do I feel like that should be 87.5? We'll see. If you didn't see in the hotkeys, we had to set up the old BPM for this track, which seems to be running out of sync. So we obviously got it wrong. Ah yeah, it is 87.5. So change it, you just click down here, type in 87.5, and change that there. So that worked quite nicely, and then we should go into Alone with a nice little just like that, then we're on to Alone, and everyone knows pretty much Alone, so it's a nice little track to end it with. So hopefully that made a bit of sense of how I've put this track list together. I'm now going to show you guys just mixing all 11 tracks, and we're going to go from 1 to 11 in the order we've just put them in, and then I'm going to show you guys just, yeah, going back and forth and doing all that. So then, this is the part of the video where I shut up and I just show you guys the old 11 track mix. Let's do this.
Yeah. I've been down so long it look like up to me. They look up to me. I got fake people showing fake love to me. Straight up to my page. Straight up to my page. I've been down so long it look like up to me. They look up to me. I got fake people showing fake love to me. Straight up to my page. Straight up to my page. I've been down so long it look like up to me. They look up to me. I got fake people showing fake love to me. Straight up to my page. Money make the world go round. Money make these hoes go down. I swear it's ridiculous. My friends standing in the pose now. I guess we just grown folks now. Damn, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Be advised, hostile care package inbound.
Damn, it's ridiculous. Money make the world go round. Money make these hoes go down. I swear it's ridiculous. My friends standing in the pose now. I guess we just grown folks now. Damn, it's ridiculous.
Friendly Warthog inbound. War machine deployed. Be advised. War machine deployed.
game.
Fucked it a bit at the end there.
So then my friends, hopefully the video has helped in some way. Now I know we missed all the way out of that mix there and we just went straight from Poison into Ridiculous. That was a mistake. However, it worked out for the better. I thought that double drop sounded so much better than what All the Way Up did with Poison. So sometimes mistakes work out, can't always be a bad thing. That's the beauty of mixing. So my friends, without further ado, thanks so much if you made it this far. Once again, hope it's helped in some way. Any questions or anything like that, leave it in the comments, reach out to me on social media. I'll be more than happy to help. Once again, if you want me to do a commentary over the little mini mix at the end, I can do a commentary and get that up for you guys in another video. Once again, my friends, peace and love, hope it's helped, and I guess on to the next how-to video.